Hello, welcome back to MzansiOz Diary, Justice Unmute. My name is Connie. If you're new here, you're very much welcome. Today we are taking a closer look to a recent fundraising campaign by the charity Sentebale, now chaired by Sophie Chandauka, the Honorable Doctor of DEI MBE. The campaign launched on Instagram to mark the Day of the African Child on June 16. It was titled A Right to Thrive. On the surface, it highlights access to health care and psychological support for young people living with HIV in Lesotho and Botswana. But there are deeper questions about this campaign, about how this day, June 16, is being used, about transparency also in mission direction, and whether the symbolism of June 16 is being diluted. But June 16 isn't just a date. It marks the Soweto Uprising of 1976 in apartheid South Africa. That day, school children rose up against oppressive education system. Many were killed, and the world was forced to witness the brutality of apartheid system in South Africa. It's now commemorated as the Day of the African Child. When any organization uses June 16 for a fundraising campaign not explicitly linked to this legacy, it deserves a very strong scrutiny. So this Instagram post that you're seeing right now, it speaks of children living with HIV, the need for monthly clubs and the cost of about £7 pound per month to reach about 3,000 children. This aligns with Sentebale's original mission, founded by Prince Harry and Princess to support vulnerable children, especially those living with HIV/AIDS. But what's missing? There is no reference to the historic significance of June 16. No acknowledgement of the political roots or cultural memory. The campaign reframes the day as a donor opportunity, not a day of the South African resistance. Phrases like double your impact, click to donate, and partner with Give Match sounds more like cost marketing than the grassroots development. Sophie Chandauka, the Honorable Doctor of DEI, has been associated with shifting Sentebale's focus towards health, wealth, and climate resilience, a narrative she's used in interviews, especially the Sky News interview, and told the entire world. And also this one is also linked to her own personal brand.
Sentebale started as a very urgent response to the urgent need for those who were impacted by HIV and AIDS in Lesotho to be taken care of. Prince Harry and Princess thought that they were uniquely placed to respond to the needs of orphans and vulnerable children, and this was in 2006. Lesotho is a very small country that's within South Africa itself. But as you roll on to 2024, the issues in Southern Africa are actually quite different. HIV and AIDS is no longer a death sentence. And so our organization is really looking at those other elements in the ecosystem that affect the health and well-being of young people. And so at Sentebale, we're focused on health, on wealth, and on climate resilience of young people in Lesotho and Botswana.
Okay, over time
So this Instagram post appeared to walk that back a little bit, going back to that original mission of HIV/AIDS. Is it really a genuine return to a mission, or a tactical pivot in response to criticism and recent trustee resignation? Because remember, let me remind you, trustee resigned because of that mission drift, allegedly. So is this now return, a walk back to that really mission of Sentebale? But here's the irony. The campaign was likely meant to stabilize the public trust, but it may unintentionally reveal how performative some DEI-aligned philanthropy can become. This is what this thing has become. Hence, it wasn't successful. It raised less than $100. As I expected when I was actually looking into this interview that she made and analyzing her interview, that she's drifting the mission, and it's unlikely that people would want to spend money on wealth creation. All right, it's not a campaign. It's drifting the mission of Sentebale. If she wanted to deal with wealth creation, she could start her own charity that has that. But this is Sentebale. Sentebale has history, has culture, has emotion, has remembrance of, that's why it's called Sentebale, forget-me-nots, of remembering Princess Diana, and also remembering the mother of Princess. So this whole thing of her not actually understanding the culture, the implication, the history around this mission, it's always been my problem for me in the beginning about her involvement in this charity. But nonetheless, the public trust towards Sentebale has been eroded as expected, very much eroded. In a very significant campaign, you raised less than $100. Yeah. And if she really cared about Sentebale, she would resign, and she could have resigned then if she really cared about the mission of Sentebale. Because as a leader, you don't make decision for yourself. You make a decision for your organization you care about and its mission. So this is the problem I have with this saga of Sophie. Now, ethically, the key concern is the symbolic use of June 16. Without explicitly linking the campaign to the history of black resistance in South Africa, the campaign risks erasing context, repackaging a day of protest as a feel-good charity event. That's my very serious concern about linking this campaign to June 16. This isn't about bad intention. It's about responsibility charities have when using cultural and political significant dates in their marketing. This is the very ethical issues around this issue. Again, Sophie doesn't seem to get it. Every time she steps on the wrong foot, she steps really bad on the wrong foot. This one here, as I said, June 16, it's a very significant day to remember those children who died while resisting the apartheid regime in South Africa. It is called the African Day by the African Union, but in South Africa it's still Youth Day, and it's a public holiday. Good intention don't excuse appropriation, and silence around power, politics, or protest can easily slide into philanthropic tokenism. That's the problem here. Alright? So, what's the lesson here? Charity working in Africa must not just serve African children. They must respect African memory and agency. The Day of the African Child is not a marketing hook. It's a historical wound, a political statement, and a cultural legacy. And if an organization, especially one that's led by a global DEI figure, the doctor of DEI, Sophie Chandauka, uses that day, it must do so with depth, honesty, and historic accuracy. Let me know what you think about this. Was this a case of well-meaning missteps or a deeper issue of strategic branding over substance? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you care about ethical leadership, mission integrity, and future of African-focused charities. So, stay curious, stay critical. See ya.